Why you need to update your business for 2017. Hello, it's John, it's the Marketing for Owners podcast. You know, it's a lovely Tuesday. This is episode 662, which means you've got 661 to go and look at. You can find them on the place you're listening to this, whether that's iTunes or we've got Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever. Or you can also go to marketingforowners.com/podcast. And if you put /1, you'll find our first ever episode. It's probably a little bit lame and a bit embarrassing. But if you put /662 at the end, you'll find this one. And you'll find it's recorded as a video before it is put as audio only onto iTunes and the others. All the transcript, all the links, etc. So, why am I talking about updating your business in 2017? First of all, you might think it's a bit late, John. It is June. And there's a thing. Yes, can you believe that it is the middle of June already? Obviously, it was just Easter. It was just Valentine's Day in February. It was just Christmas. We are in the 6th month already. It is the summer, pretty much virtually. That means that had anything you're thinking of starting, you think, oh, it's a bit late. Time goes so quick. When you look back, you think, why didn't I start that? So if you're going to make a change, don't think, oh, it's too late now. There's only sort of 6.5 months left of the year. No, do it now. And in sort of 3 or 4 months, you'll be thinking, oh, I'm almost done. Never too late to start. So what am I talking about anyway? About updating your business. This is really, this is sort of based on a podcast I was listening to from Brian Fanzo. Now, if you go to iSocial Fans or look up Brian Fanzo, 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 for those of you in North America. If you just look him up on the Marketing for Owners website, you'll come across his podcast. Great guy, really social, lovely, genuine guy. Anyway, if you go there, he was talking about, he called it rolling with the punches, because you've got to be adaptable. If you're going to be a business owner, I assume you are a business owner, but you may be thinking of starting something, or you may be thinking of going on your own, or you may be thinking of upgrading or make changes. One of the things you will need to do and to update is to make yourself and your business more adaptable. You need a plan B. So when things will go wrong, okay? Things will go wrong. Things will be outside of your control. I mean, Brian was talking, for example, imagine he was in Denmark, I think. He was on a paid gig, and he's over there and he's giving a speaking gig, a paid speaking gig. He's been flown to Denmark from the States, and pretty big deal. And he's up there, and there's a problem with his slides, with his presentation. Now, what would you do? How well will you have prepared? Will you have a plan B? What would you do? Would you stand there and say, sorry, it seems to be a problem? The people in the audience don't care about the problem. They know it's not your fault. They know it's probably not even the audio fault. But they have paid, or they're sitting there wanting to listen to you. What would you do? Would you have a plan B? In your business, you will have things that are in your control that will still go wrong. Trust me. I've quite often described a business as a series of problems, and a successful business is one that can deal with problems very quickly and in a way to stop them reoccurring, because problems will happen. I have been working for John, for 33 years. I know some of you not even been alive 33 years. Yes, don't embarrass me. But 33 years. And I can assure you, things happen that I've not thought about, or that my staff have not thought about. And you think, how come? It seems so obvious, but it's always with hindsight. but we can cope, right? We are able to deal with things. We have stress tested our business over and over, which is what they do to the banks these days to see if they would stay afloat if a financial crash happened. And that's what you really need to do to the business. Now, when you when you stress test it, you're not actually running through an exercise. It's not like in the old days they trained for a nuclear accident or something like that. You don't have to go to that far. All you need to do is to think of, right, if this happened, what would happen? I mean, just basic stuff. Staff will go sick. You could go sick. Contractors, outsourcers, other people will fail you. They will not deliver on time. They'll have, how many excuses do you want? They'll have every excuse you want. So will your staff as well, by the way. So will you. But what will you do about it? Because this is the thing, is the people, if you want your business to be successful, the people who matter are your customers, your clients, or in the future, potential buyers of your business. Those are the people that really matter. They don't care. I'll give you an example. In the UK, we're based in the corner in Kent, in the southeast of England. So we deliver all over to Scotland, Birmingham, the southwest, Wales, everywhere in the UK, and we deliver using carriers on a next day delivery. Now, in our area of the country, we could be snowed in, unable to get to the work. However, people can order online. They are based in, say, northern England, where there is no snow at the time. So to them, they look out the window and they want to know, why didn't their delivery arrive? Now, when we contact them and say, oh, I'm very sorry, we were snowed in, all they think about is their local thing. They cannot imagine. They say, there was no snow. As far as they're concerned, it's an excuse. What would you do? Now, we've had this happen often. We have plans. We have plans. We have things in place to cover that. We actually, and if you're just wondering when that happens, we phone the people. We phone them. Remember the old telephone thing? We don't just send out email blasts. We pick up the phone because they've given a phone number when they've ordered. We phone them and say, by the way, this is going to happen. This thing's probably going to be late because our carriers can't get to us, can't get it out. Is that a problem? Do you want your money back, or is that okay just to wait? But and then we get feedback and say, oh, delivery was late. I was promised next day, but turns out they couldn't do that. But fantastic service because they contacted us. So what would you do? This is your new business, the one that does not take it on the fly, doesn't run on the fly, it operates as a business. You've got half a year to start to put these things in place. Talk to your staff, let them know that you need scenarios, you need to think of how do we plan for these things. You don't have to have it all written down. Quite obviously, you cannot think of every scenario that may happen that you weren't going to expect to happen. If you're expecting them to happen, you plan for it. So you can't, you can't force it. You just need to be adaptable. And that's it. Anyway, enough of. I think you got the gist. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and on Wednesday we have our expert interview series. So tomorrow we've got a gentleman called Leonard Kim. Now you can look him up. If I remember rightly, his social handles are Mr. Leonard Kim. But anyway, look him up. He is great. Seriously. He explains how he went from a complete nobody, what he did, to become an influencer. And we talk about influence marketing. He explains how he became one and how he teaches people to become one. Instead of reaching out to the influencers, become one yourself. It's fascinating, and it's from a genuine guy who really was absolutely pants at the beginning. You won't mind me saying so. It's great. Listen in. I'll be back on Thursday with another quick tip that you'll enjoy.